Okay. Okay. And now we're down. Everybody is down. And I'm around Flashback Friday. How you feeling? What's this day like? What's your day about? Are we all right? Are we going out? Is everything gonna be all right? I declare for the rest of the night. Yes, it is. It's the daily go get mism show. You think it ain't when it was? You think it don't do what it does, but it does, and we do, and we are here, and this is my crew. Yeah. It's the Daily Go Get a Mism Show, and y'all down with Sun 752, aka O. All right, y'all. So check it out, right? It's the Daily Go Get a Mism Show. First day of Gemini season. Oh shit, it's getting very, very real now. You know, when Gemini season comes in, that's basically the start of the summertime. Even though it's smack dab in the middle of spring, you know what I'm saying? It feels like this is like the real summer. So this is what we're gonna do tonight. Tonight we're talking about the undetected way that the female ego works. The undetected way that the female ego works. Now, the other night we was talking about the mystery of the male ego, and I said that we was going to talk about the ladies and their ego somewhere down the line. I didn't want to do it back to back, but the time is now. And the time is here, and everything is gonna be all right. Get your gear, everything is gonna be all right. Yes, this year, a 2021, we won't do and finish till it's done, and we're gonna have a little fun. We will rock it back and forth and do everything till we have to break north. And of course, you know I'm down like a submarine. I struggle to keep my sneakers clean, and when everything is aligned in the stars, you know what we do, you know who we are. We still do it like the best, and we said we get with the rest, but everything is gonna be okay. It's on 752 DG, so it's way. All right, the undetected way that the female ego works. Now, there's no doubt that women have an ego. I don't think that there should be any doubt that women have a big ego, but I think that with a lot of men, because a lot of men are on defense when women's ego is going out of control and doesn't get checked. I think that it is undetected a lot of times. Like, I think the female ego gets written off as something else. So we're gonna take a look at it today, and I want y'all to get into it, get involved. Puzzle pieces, we will solve everything. Is gonna be y'all right tonight. Let the other shows bite. Don't do it. All right, so the way that the female ego works, the undetected way, you know, like I said, men are on defense a lot. So when a woman's ego is out of control, a lot of times men will feel like it's justified because they think that the only reason that a woman is acting the way that she acts is in response to something that a man has done to her. So that puts him on defense when she's actually acting in defensive mode. But what about when she's actually being offensive? What about when she is actually offending instead of defending herself? And it happens a lot. So we're going to take a look at it tonight. Now, this is what we're not going to do. This is not a show to try to demonize the actions and ways of women. That we're not doing that. We ain't about that life. But I think, sorry about that, y'all. Got a couple of clothes in the dryer and everything else. But anyway, you know, I think that it's important for us to recognize and chronicle human behavior. So that's male and female. Now, one thing is for sure, we all come from a man and a woman. We all come from a man and a woman. You know, speaking of female ego, right? I saw a post the other day, and it said, of course, this was posted by a woman, and it said something like, we all come from a woman's vagina, but we have the nerve to say that God is a man. And I looked at this post and I'm thinking to myself, like, well, this is a matter of simple biology. It really is. It's a matter of simple biology. Now, many people have come to the conclusion that this woman came to when she posted that. But I'm like, it was really short-sighted. And in my opinion, it was pretty egocentric. So many people think that because in many religions, and I guess all religions, God is supposed to be a man. So there are people who oppose that. There are a lot of people who don't think that God is a man. They're thinking like, well, how can God be a man, when all men and women come from a woman? And I'm thinking like, if you don't know how the human body works, if you don't understand the process of creation, if you don't understand the process of conception, yeah, it's easy to just conclude that, yeah, you were born from a woman. A man cannot give birth to anyone, which is true. But you also have to understand that no woman can create a child on her own. She can't. Like, she absolutely can't. And there are no children living inside of a woman. It's an egg, unfertilized. It doesn't do anything. When a woman has a period, every month in her cycle, she loses an egg. She is born with a predetermined set of eggs. And when those eggs are finished, she goes through menopause and she cannot have children again, ever. Ever. Not biologically, she can't. You know, we have surrogates and all of that kind of stuff in modern technology, but she can't do that. Meanwhile, inside of a man, he produces living sperms, which carry the gender of the child inside of a man. So a man injects a boy or a girl into a woman. These are just facts. These are just regular, indisputable biological facts. When you put sperms under a microscope, you see living organisms swimming, billions of them. When you put an egg under a microscope, you don't see anything. There's no living matter at all. So it takes a man and a woman to produce a child, but the man actually has the child inside of him. So the woman is really a carrier of all children. They are not the creator. They are not the producer. Now, once again, not to diminish the role that a woman plays in the population of this world, because her job is essential from beginning to end, from alpha to omega. But when I hear a woman, challenge, when I hear women challenge whether God is a man or a woman, challenge whether God is a woman versus a man, I think to myself, like, she probably just really doesn't understand the theory of conception. So she probably didn't go to school very, very much and like research that. She could know some things that I don't know. I don't know if she knows anything about that I don't know, but okay. But the same way that a man's ego declares himself God, women are declaring themselves God also. And they're both ego that is pretty much unchecked. We don't really know who God is. But that declaration But that declaration is all ego. And that's what I mean. The undetected way that the female ego works. So let's talk about it. Let's get it popping. Urban Therapy with Sun 752 with this your daily, the daily go get 'em show. We do this every single day, every day, every day it rains, every day it rains. And the DG will do the same. We break it down, baby. Every day it rains, and the DG will do the same. Every day it rains, and the DG will do the same. Every day it rains, and the DG will do the same. Every day it rains, and the DG will do the same. I'm your host, Sun 752, aka Omar with the and if you can't say Omar with the well, then you just say Omar with the R. It is the Daily Go Get It show all up in your area. I'm feeling like a real man should. I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to see y'all here too. What we got here in the chat room, Queen Matu Mayini is on the Instagram side. Thanks for coming on through. I appreciate you. My brother from another mother, Norris Hill, is always coming through. He's always doing this thing. He's real chill. And Shirley Show, the world's most precious, the greatest pearl in the world. What's going on? And glad to see your girl, and Carol Chamberlain. If I'm Rita. What's going on, my aunt? And Emily Dunlap is in the house. Bow, so about to turn it out. And is that Ramona Piccolo? Oh, what's going on, Ramona Piccolo? And my girl Bean. I have not seen you around in a while. How you feeling, Bean? It's good to see you, and it's great to be seen. No doubt, y'all. So we're talking about tonight on this first day of Gemini season, twin season, the 21st of May. We are talking about the undetected way that the female ego works. The undetected way that the female ego works. Do we know? Do we understand? I know that women know how female ego works, but I don't think that they're always willing to let men in on how it goes. What's going on, my big sis Robbie Robin Ming? My big sis Robbie Robin Ming always down here to do a thing. She's like a queen for a king, no doubt. Yeah, let me go. Okay. All right, the clothes finished drying. Everything good. Everything cool. So yeah, the undetected way that the female ego works. You know what I'm saying? Men don't be understanding that shit because they be on defense all the time. Like, listen, I'll just give her whatever she want. That way she won't be on my back about something that I didn't do. Or maybe I've been doing a little something on the low, and you know what I mean, I don't want her to find out about it, so I'll let her act out in her little jealous way, and maybe that'll just play out, and everything will be all right, everything will be smooth. But yeah, when a woman acts jealously, that's her ego. You know what I'm saying? You know, she's saying you are mine. And I bet not find out that the chick from around the corner, your ex or anybody else, is trying to get next to you. There's going to be a problem. And I know that you the type that has a roving eye or whatever. So I think you better put your horse shades on. You don't think that's her ego saying that? I'm here to let you know it is. That's all her ego saying that. That's all her ego on display. That's the way that goes. That's the way that is. So you know, just like a man has to keep his ego in check, and when he doesn't keep his ego in check, he gets on that bullshit. And it's pretty obvious that he probably hasn't been around a lot of real men who have helped him to know how to conduct himself. So he gets on that bullshit. And actually, it's funny because when a man's ego is out of control, he actually starts sounding more female-like. Now, how would you start sounding more female-like or acting more feminine if you are displaying more male ego? Because male ego makes you do this too much. You be talking too much. You know what I mean? And that's more of a feminine trait. Women aren't as likely to get out there and be mixing it up physically, fighting and you know, and trying to be as physically intimidating as men are. But they will use their mouthpiece to defend themselves. They will definitely use their mouthpiece to defend themselves and to offend other people. So when the male ego is out of the way, he'll start. I mean, when the male ego is out of control, he will start to brag. He will start to start being verbally abusive and trying to verbally promote himself. And it makes other men look at him like, okay. We hear you, homie. Like, but on the low, we like, yo, he acting like a little bitch. He really is. He acting like a little bitch. Like, y'all not, you know, y'all be hating. Y'all not recognizing. Y'all not giving me my props. And we looking like, real niggas take their props. We don't look for validation. But I tell you what, there's nothing masculine about a man who complains all the time about him not getting his just due. The masculine way to go about it is to do everything to make his props be undeniable. Like, I'm gonna make y'all feel this. So the undetected way that the female ego works. What's going on, Sucre Je Toi? Sucre JTX. How you feeling, man? It's good to see. Good to see. Good to see me some you today. And you say that we buffering on the Instagram side? Damn, son. We don't have to see about it. I mean, there's nothing I can do, but you know what I'm saying? We don't hope for the best. We don't hope for the best. You know what I mean? I mean. And what's going on, Jeff Hawkins? My brother Jeff Hawkins is in the house. How you feeling, my man? My mellow, my man. And T Carry, right? Morning, noon, and night. It's always good to have my peoples going directly in. Yes, the undetected way that the female ego works. If y'all would like to call into the show tonight, you know, because listen, we're gonna have to talk about it tonight. And I can't talk about all aspects of the way that the female ego works because I'm not a woman. And most of the stuff that I will discuss will have more to do with what I have observed from growing up, being raised by my mother and two sisters in the house, me being the only boy for a short time to my stepdad, you know, he came, you know, kick it with us, whatever. Before about a year or two, I was the only male. So you get a bullseye look at female behavior. And one thing you notice when you grow up, when you have sisters, when you're a man that has sisters, female cousins and stuff like that, what you notice a lot is how competitive women are. They're competitive, very competitive. And you know, competition is bred out of what? What's it bred out of, y'all? It's ego. In case y'all were searching for the answer, I'm just going to give it to y'all. It's ego. When you compete with somebody, you compete with them because you think that you are the best, or you know that you are the best. You know, more than likely, you're not going to compete against somebody that you really don't believe, or that you believe, I should say, would totally destroy you in a contest. So you're going to be competitive against other people that you feel like you are on even playing with, on an even playing field. Like you feel like, yeah, I think I can beat you. So a man might not look at how competitive women are and write that off as ego. But you know that if a man participated in when men participate in any type of competitions, you know it's all ego. You know, there are really only two goals in mind. And I'm going to say only one goal in mind when it comes to men and competitions. And that's women. I was going to say women and money. But the money ain't shit if the women ain't there. I mean, I'm just being real. What good does money have? What good, unless you are a gay man, and if you are a gay man, you don't really count. I'm listen, I know liberals won't come at me for saying that, but I'm dead fucking serious. If you're a gay man, you don't count because you are not aligning yourself with men. You are in search of men who don't want to be men. It's like girl on girl, but it's guy on guy. So if you're a straight man, your number one goal in life is woman. Now, I could have said that your number one goal in life is pussy because it's close. But there's way more to a woman than pussy. But for a man, that's definitely, in the equation, early in the equation. But when women are competitive, and they are competitive in so many ways that they will try to lie about. You see all these women out here with these long ass fake eyelashes. You don't think that that's a competition? Y'all don't think that that's a competition, brothers? Y'all don't recognize that as competition? It is. Women compete with the way they dress, with the way they look, with the men they have, with the way their families are set up. They are competitive in almost every aspect of their lives. But you'll be hard pressed to see anybody write that off as ego. But it is. It is. We've witnessed men see their friends go out and buy a new car, and then men go out and buy a car. Sometimes the same car. Kind of weird, but it happens. They've gone out, bought the same car, but a more exclusive or expensive model. Like, yeah, I got the limited edition. I got the limited. Yeah. You went out and bought a 500 Benz. I went out and bought a 600 Benz. Yeah, we know that that's male ego. But we don't look at it as female ego when a woman goes out and sees another woman with the same kind of dress that she has on, and she starts losing her mind over that shit. We don't recognize that as ego. I think we should. I think we need to take a strong look at that. We need to take a strong look at that. Women are extremely competitive in many areas, almost all areas. I've seen women compete with other women in school as far as getting the grades, getting accolades in groups and shit like that. Not too many women compete in any sports or whatever just to say that they, I don't see too many women that participate in scholastic activities, whether they're extracurricular activities or academic activities, just to be in the mix, just to get a letter sweater or take on the everybody gets a trophy thing. Now, some people might say, yeah, but that's actually their masculine energy making them act that way. Well, then a lot of women have a lot of man in them because it works inside the classroom, outside the classroom, when school is done and when school is about to start again. Women are extremely competitive. 319-527-6199. That's the number to call. I said 319-527-6199. Yes, y'all. I said a 319-527-6199. Yeah, get on the line. I said a 319-527-6199. Yeah, get your shine, baby. Call into the show. We can talk about this tonight. The undetected way that the female ego works. Let's get into it. Aqua Activated is in the house. What's going on, Agua? Robbie Ming says, I am natural. Don't do the false eyelashes. No weave. I'm not in competition with no other woman. So excuse me, Miss Hazel Eyes. You mean to tell me that you have never competed with another woman for nothing at any age in your life, at any stage in your life? You have never said that bitch ain't as cute as me, or she ain't as good as me, or she ain't this, that, and the third. You have never been between another man and you, another woman and you for a man. Like even if you had him first and another woman was trying to get at your man and you was like, that man ain't going nowhere. He know what he got over here. Why would he want you? You a bum. You don't work. You ain't got shit. Got a bunch of kids by a bunch of different baby fathers, and none of them are there. And you can't keep a man, and you ain't gonna get mine not to keep either. Naturalista rap. What's going on? Good to see me. Some you. That's word. And. Wait a minute. Grits and Wavy is here? Oh, damn, she is. Grits and Wavy and Grits. I said Grits and Wavy and Grits. I said Grits and Wavy and Grits. I'm glad you came on through and you know that you're the shh. All right, so I see that we have callers on the line. All right, so we're going to take the callers in the succession in which they requested to speak. So caller with the last number is 4828. I'm going to take you first, and then caller with the last number 7019. And anyone else who wants to call in, I invite you to do so. Let's get this thing popping. Listen, we're going to need female points of view. You know, don't be scared to call in. You know, I know sometimes it's easier to write because, you know, when you talk, you might get your words all jumbled up or get nervous. Like, I remember when I used to call in the radio stations when I was young, I would get all nervous, like it was a big deal. But it's not. It's not a big deal. We just be yourself. Let's talk. All right. So caller with the last number is 4828. Welcome to the Daily Go Getimism Show. Thank you for holding. What's on your mind this evening?
Hi, how are you? Okay. So I had some things I wanted to address, but then you made a mention about women, whether or not women are competitive when it comes to academics. And that can't really be true because we just are. When you look at the fact that we were talking about the other day about how Black women are the most educated, that's an indication that we most certainly are competitive academically. So we are, and women tend to be territorial. And unlike men, who, what will fuel their, competitive nature would be, a female. It could be a male for us. It could be money for us. It could be status for us. It's so many, there's levels to it. But whenever the conversation about ego comes up, it's always associated with a man and hyper masculine man and this, that, and the other. When I know, I'm telling you as a female that I already know that we hold that whole ego thing down, all the way down.
Why do you think
it can get ugly?
I've seen it get ugly, but why do you think we are so quick to label the way that a man acts in competition as ego, and so hesitant to label a female's actions as being egotistical? Or like why? Well, like why the disconnect there?
Because the idea of having an ego, it equates to assertiveness, and so society automatically, this is just my opinion, society automatically will dictate that particular characteristic with a man rather than a woman. Meanwhile, a woman can do the same thing a man can do in certain situations, let's say business-wise, and they will call her cunning. They'll find other pretty words, to call it rather than what it really is.
Other adjectives. Okay. But what's the reason that we don't just say ego? Is it let me ask you this. Is it offensive to label a woman's competitiveness or the way that she acts as being associated with ego? Is that offensive to women in some type of way?
Well, as a woman who has an ego, I have a big ego. It's not offensive to me. That's because I admit to myself first and foremost that I do have, I'm very competitive. I played organized sports. I compete even now as a middle-aged woman, academically. So it's not offensive to me, but I know that it's offensive to other women. I'm like, why? It's the truth. I think they want, like, some of us would like to have this facade of just being this gentle, being, and that how we're all docile, and I don't know.
Oh, y'all gotta be a lady. You gotta be a lady. So is it not ladylike to have an ego?
In my world, it is.
Okay. But in your world, it is ladylike, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I understand what you're saying.
You can have an ego, but it's all about your approach, how you approach things. Just because I am diplomatic doesn't mean I don't have an ego. I most certainly do have an ego.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing because we want to be, we like to be seen as a certain thing, but at the same time we want to be seen as stronger. So we want to be seen as stronger, but not, to the detriment of this female version of ourselves. So we don't want to come off as too hype. It's kind of weird.
Okay. Yeah. It's now, okay. All right. Now check this out. Women understand this about other women, even if they don't share this with men. But one thing I have noticed is that women will share the intentions and actions and ways of a woman to her sons. Like when most mothers that I know, when they are schooling their sons to the way that women are, they don't be giving them the whole, women are girls are sugar and spice and everything nice. That is not how they approach their sons. They be like, nah, you got to watch out for these chicks. You know what I mean? These chicks out here is treacherous, and they will set you up, and they will pretend like they was pregnant, and they'll have you out there fighting for them, and they'll have you all up in the projects. You know what I'm saying? With knives to your throat and guns to your head, and I mean, just keeping it a buck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. That's how I am with my son.
That's how most women I know have been with their sons. They give their sons the real deal. But other men, nope, tight-lipped. I'm like, he got a mother too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, how is it that we take for granted that most men don't recognize how women can be? And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say that y'all are just on some diabolically evil shit. I'm not trying to say that. But many men out here act like they don't understand how women move. And I'm like, well, your mom ain't never put you on. And evidently, some moms that must not have. I mean, I don't know if it's a situation where maybe it has something to do with the individual mother's experience with men, that may make them either reveal or conceal. But from a lot of men that I've known, when their mom put them on, they put them on to how wicked and how diabolical women can be. They didn't kick it, maybe when they was little, it was like, make sure you don't never put your hands on a girl, you know what I'm saying? Treat them nice and blah, 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 blah. But when they start to get old enough to really be affected by women, it's like, okay, well, let me put you on to something, because if I don't put you on, I see you're gonna be coming home. You're gonna be coming home with real babies and fake babies. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna have a talk about this. So I guess what I'm really saying is, with women having no doubt about the way women are, and often being very suspicious of other women's motives, how does it get lost in translation about a woman's ego and how that works? It's a, I don't know. It's a mystery to me. We talked about the mystery of the male ego, but the mystery of the female ego seems way more mysterious. Like there's a lot of hidden information there.
I think that some males kind of flag off the female ego. Some men take it for granted and other men flag it off.
Mm-hmm.
It's really not a mystery. A lot of the things that we do and how we feel about what we do and what's going on around us, we are giving out signs, and a lot of us are coming right out and saying whatever it is. When our egos have been bruised, like, hey, listen, I don't like that because that makes me feel. It's like if a woman sees it or feels like her man took another woman's side over hers, we'll come right out and be like, yo, like, I have an issue with that.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy's not looking at that. He's just he might say something like, "Oh, you must have your period," and it's not like that. No, he's not even looking at it from the aspect of her ego being bruised.
You know what? You're very. I think that's very true. You know what I mean? I in those situations, I've heard men write it off as her being jealous, but I never heard him. I ain't gonna say never, but very rarely do you ever hear him say, "Yeah, her ego got scarred." You just be like, "Yeah, her jealousy took a hit tonight. She'll be all right." You know what I mean? But you know how she is. She got the green-eyed monster all up in her. Rawr! Rawr! Yeah. All right. Hold on a second.
That's one of the reasons why.
Okay, hold on. Stand by. We're going to take the other caller, the next caller with the last number 7019. Welcome to the Daily Go Getimism Show. Thank you for holding. What's going on? How you feeling?
I'm good. How are you?
Feeling like a real man should. Glad you asked. Appreciate that. Good. I really do. Fuels my ego.
Good. Okay, so I had a couple of things to say, but I'm just going to comment on the most recent thing that you guys were talking about. And one thing I want to add to why I feel like women's egos get sort of dismissed. One, because you have to remember that there was a time when women weren't or couldn't be assertive, right? That was primarily a man's role and his responsibility, so to speak. And it wasn't permissible for a woman to be assertive. And fast forward to more recent times, women are a little bit more assertive and vocal and say whatever they want to say. And the other thing I wanted to say is that most times that I can think of, whether it's personal or people that I know, most times men dismiss what we are displaying as our ego as us being emotional. So when you think about it or look at it from that perspective, usually we women get a bad rep for being what's quote unquote assertive or expressing ourselves, or even when there are issues that arise, like the first caller mentioned about if your man take another woman's side over yours, that whole scenario is usually tied to what he would think is us just being emotional.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Now you said there was a time when women weren't able to be as assertive. Now, do you think that they were unable to be assertive publicly or privately? Because I have, I think that women have always been very assertive privately. I mean, how did we come up with with sayings like happy wife, happy life?
But that doesn't mean a woman is assertive. Does that necessarily mean that a woman is being assertive? Just because you say happy wife, happy life? Does that automatically mean that?
Well, I think so, because if she's not assertive, how is it going to make your life miserable if she's not happy?
Okay. Nope. Men used to have it was legal for them to hit their women publicly or privately.
Okay.
So, yeah.
What does that have to do with her assertiveness?
It has a lot to do with her assertiveness.
That was punishment for being assertive. Like, because what took that as a form of disrespect.
We don't know if that was the reason for the domestic violence in all situations.
Well, it wasn't considered domestic violence.
Well,
that was permissible. That was okay.
So you don't think that there were men who just beat on women just to beat on them, even if they were submissive?
I would imagine so, but we're talking about a time when women weren't allowed to talk back.
Yeah.
I don't know if there was ever a time like that. Now, I know that's the reason I asked, was that a public thing or a private thing? Because we know that there were laws that prohibited women from participating in politics and owning land and things like that. But in the home, she had a lot of power. I'm going to give you an example, especially of the Black woman.
Wait, before you do that, so you think that there were laws in place and somehow those laws only apply to outside and not inside the home?
I don't think, I'm saying that I don't think that there's ever a time that women shut up.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. So I'm going to say this. My mom is one of 6. My dad.
I'm just saying, I don't think so.
Hold on.
Yeah.
My grandmother. I'm just saying, I come from a very large family, and I can very strong women. And these strong women got gripped up a time or two. This is multi-generational. So what you think? What the comment that I'm stuttering and everything. The comment that you just made is not applicable. From the stories from the elders that I spoke to, men and women. It's a lot of people, men and women, and all agree that was the way of life.
Wait a minute.
Wait.
Listen.
Not only that, there was definitely women knew how to get what they wanted without being verbal, right? And there were times where you had to. There's also this thing where, right? There's also this thing where women knew how to stroke a man's ego to make him think that was his original idea. I'm pretty sure you've heard of that as well. So women knew how to get their man to do what they wanted, hence the term happy wife, happy life. And it didn't come from talking back or, being assertive, quote unquote.
Well, I consider using whatever tools that you use to get what you want as being assertive. It doesn't. You don't assertive. There's a difference between assertiveness and aggressiveness. So if you find a way, if you use your influence, you are being assertive. There's no way around it.
Okay.
Well,
I thought you were talking because we were talking about talking back.
Well, I'm not walking back that. I'm not walking back that comment. I do not think that there was ever a time in the world where women just shut up and was scared that they was gonna get punched. It don't happen to this day. Even the chicks I know that get their ass whooped on a regular basis, they still talk their shit.
Today is completely different.
How do you know that? Wait. How do you know that today is totally different? What makes you think that?
Because of the stories that your grandparents tell you and your great grandparents.
Evidently, y'all have different grandparents than mine did. Because I told y'all before, my grandmother ain't shut up for nobody.
Maybe.
Okay, well, I'm just saying.
I never said mine. I never said all of mine shut up. As a matter of fact,
I know you didn't. I noticed you didn't say that, and there's a reason you didn't say
it. but they did. But they did speak on.
I don't think anybody said that.
Okay, hold on. Let me give y'all the example that I was going to use. All right.
Okay.
In slavery times, the black female slave was instrumental in saving the black community. If it wasn't for the influence that the black woman had over the slave master, and it wasn't always because she was fucking him or nothing like that, but she had an energy back then that she still has today. You know, white men love black women, even when they're not sexually involved. But there's something about the black woman, and I think it goes all the way back to slavery. So when the black woman needed a favor, she could go to massa and ask for it and expect to get it. Now, of course, she knew her boundaries. She wasn't going to be like, yo, can you free us? That wasn't going to work. But if it was a situation where her children, where some of her children were rebellious, or if there was if there were escape rumors going around and stuff like that, the woman went in and fixed that situation. Men couldn't go in there and fix that situation with massa. But the woman could, and she still can. Well, that's assertiveness. So the black woman has had.
But what that is that women recognize their power when they see it, and they use it to their advantage. That is the same back then, the same as it is true today. Women know when they have control in a situation and will use that to their advantage. That's just what it is.
Okay.
Same way men do.
Well, that's all I was saying. But now, is that ego though? Because I'm thinking that's a lot of power. If it's like, you know, I mean, if I was a black woman back in the day, be like, yo, man, I'm about to go fix this shit with massa. We already get Sundays off. We gonna get off early on Saturday too. Watch. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all can't look. Job, hold on, y'all. Job, I got this. I'm about to head up to the quarters. You know what I mean? I'm about to head up to the quarters. You know what I mean? Y'all just get ready. We gonna party on Saturday night early. You know what I mean? Before the sun go down, because I'm gonna go fix it with Massa Tom. Massa Tom, you know what I mean? You know how Massa Tom is. Don't worry. I ain't none of that frisky business going on. But we going by 6:00 tonight. No, it wasn't always like that. The same way that it's not always like that now. We can't sometimes we over sexualize and over what's the word that I want to use? Well, we exaggerate some of the things that went on with slavery from plantation to plantation. We sometimes sometimes we lump all incidents into the same box, and we can't do that. You know what I mean? Each plantation, yeah, okay. So each plantation was a different situation. So there were, and don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to defend this shit, but there were situations where slaves were where massa wasn't as overbearing and wasn't brutal all the time. You know what I mean? Because it's hard to actually get anything done in those situations. Slavery in itself was a brutal situation just because of the ownership that was involved. But as far as the day-to-day operations, it was sometimes like a job. You just didn't get paid for it. So you know, with Black women not having the power to read or write or explore or research, they still were able to fuel their ego in other ways. Influence of the influence of their beauty, the influence of their intelligence, the influence of their ability to influence, to make things go their way. So, you know, the female ego. Remember, there was life before slavery. So if we talk about slavery, we're talking about going back 500 or 600 years. But you know, life goes back thousands of years, maybe millions of years. I mean, we don't really know, but yeah, I don't really buy that women were just, you know, like they just were so afraid of their men and so obedient that that they just did whatever their men wanted them to do. There are some women who are like that, but for the majority of women, you know, they have their say in the home. You know, I mean, most men concede that the home belongs to the woman anyway. She normally fixes it up the way she wants it. She does the decorating. She runs the household. That's her domain. He used to go out and do the hunting and bringing home the money to provide for the family. But at home, she ran shit, and it showed a lot of times. You know. So
yeah, but at the same time, I'm sorry. At the same time, it's okay. At the same time, you know, everything that you said was on point. With the last part, and yet throughout society, throughout the years, women's egos have still been dismissed.
Yeah,
and you have to ask yourself why.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's weird.
It doesn't matter if the suffrage movement, women's liberation movement, Black feminism in general, really all the women's movements that you can put together and come up with. Those are all indicators of a lot of different things, but our egos included, and yet we've still been dismissed.
Yeah, because you think about
why.
it.
Well,
if we were that assertive and ran things, there wouldn't be a need for all those women movements.
Well, you got to think
really
those women's movements were born out of white women's feelings about their inequities or their inequalities. That's not Black women. And even with those,
I think just like with everything else, white women hijacked the movement, but it didn't just start with them.
What?
Okay. Well, hold on. The women's liberation movement was born out of the necessity of us, of women wanting to get, go to school. Like that's So I mean, there's different reasons for each one. I just use it as an example of egos.
All right,
and it's really not as much of a mystery as some would think. Is my point.
Well, I think it's a mystery, and I think it's something that everybody knows, but everybody acts like they don't know. That's the mystery. Why is everybody acting like they don't see this shit? It's like when you see somebody with with fake with fake color contacts, and you like, yeah, they look like a real eyes to me. Like, you mean that cat over there? Fuck you talking about? Shit don't look right. Then it's a situation where we'll just write it off like, well, she paid for them, so it's hers. If that's what she want to do, then that's fine. Yeah, but that don't take away from the fact that that it's not authentic. You know what I'm saying? So it's an interesting situation. It's just something that we can't necessarily pinpoint.
Well, can I just say that I don't associate the need for people when they put on fake contacts or eyelashes and stuff like that. I don't know if that has to do with ego more. I just don't think that's for, like, you made a comment earlier that competition for other women, and I just don't agree with that. Like, I don't think I've ever put anything on with the thought that, watch, she gonna look at me and be like, oh, I'm better than her. Like, she gonna see her. Like, no.
Listen,
no, I actually agree with him on that one.
Listen, I've heard women say it. I've heard them say it right out of their fucking mouth.
A lot of women won't say it out loud, but I'm not in public, but we can't front like we've never
like
been.
When women get dressed or put something specific on, it's usually to attract men, right? That's what I
say.
Now,
but that's still being in competition with another woman, though.
Right, I mean, but it's not to look at her and say, well, I'm doing this because I'm trying to be better than you, so to speak. It's like, I'm doing this because I want his attention more than he may give you his attention.
Well, that is saying that you're better, though.
Exactly what that is, though.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're saying. Yeah, that's exactly.
Like, I have a nice rep. When I put on a low cut shirt, I'm going out with a low cut shirt with the intention of like, hey, what about me? You know what I'm saying? Like, what you know about this? Wait a minute,
wait. Hold on. A nice rack though. That's what we doing. A nice rack, really? Okay. All right. Look, we not.
My point was that it is definitely a competition. When we're getting dressed, if we're going out with our girls and we're all getting dressed and making sure that each of us are on point for the sole purpose of being the baddest bitch wherever. That's a competition.
Yeah, just because you don't admit
competition. Each other, even if we're rocking jeans. If you have a nice shape and you're just rocking a pair of jeans and a nice crop top or tank top. But
if your purpose is to attract attention from men, your sole purpose can't be the competition with other women. Like, that plays into it. But if your intention is you're not dressing your breast up to for other women to look at you and be like, wow, I wish I had titties like her. No, you prop them up because you like, listen, I want men to see me.
Yeah, but you want them to see you over other women. So just because you're not competing, listen. Just because you're not competing,
listen, I do say that I'm very competitive in a lot of areas. But what I'm saying is that when I put something on specific to my body, it's not to attract other women. It's just not. It is to other women.
But it is to remove those other women from the equation.
That's right. Eliminate the competition.
You are eliminating them from the equation. You are saying, look at me. I want you, sir, to look at me and no one else. That's still a competition.
Oh, it's open season out here. It's straight open season. And see this is what I'm talking about. This is why I say the unrecognized workings of the female ego. we allow it to be called something else. When it's men, we call it exactly what it is. But when it comes to women, we dress it up, we decorate it, we rename it, take the label off, put another one on. Like, it's the same shit. It's all ego. Why are we failing to recognize it and call it exactly what it is? I think if we did that, then we could deal with it better. We could probably increase our ability to communicate better. But because we keep hiding it, because we keep shading it in, because we keep concealing it, because we keep mislabeling it and all of that, it's like, well, where the fuck is it? It's like, you know, here we are. Hold on. Here we are. Hold on. Here we are eating grapefruits, thinking that they oranges, wondering how come this is sour and what's this aftertaste? Like, yo, that's not an orange, son. That's a grapefruit. What? Why does shit say Sunkissed on it? Do Sunkissed make grapefruits? No. Well, who the fuck put these stickers on here? Well, it kind of, you know what I'm saying? You know, it kind of looked like an orange or whatever. So, you know, we had to get rid of these grapefruits. So we put the Sunkissed joint on there. People bought it, you know what I'm saying? Made us, like, no fucking wonder. You know what I mean? Just call it what it is. I mean, it's almost like we are protecting some type of faction. We're protecting like the emotional nature of someone or something, and I just don't understand, because evidently women can take way more than we give them credit for. You know, we know how often women are verbally abused, and we also know how often other women verbally abuse other women. That bitch ain't shit, you know what I'm saying? She knows she just want to be me, you know what I mean? She be showing her ass and all of that kind of shit. You know, she attention starved and all that kind of stuff. So we know that we can that y'all can take it. It honestly, it seems like men can't take it as well as women can. You know what I mean? But for some reason, we fail to call it exactly what it is with women, as if we dissing them or something. You know, I'm like, that's not a diss. It's just an actual fact. The more competitive you are, the more your ego is at work. Now we have to do some psychological research to find out where that need to compete in that way comes from. But it's there, and it's there in a lot of different ways. And you know how it is. The more that you try to hide some things, the more they come out. You know, like when a dude, like for example, when a dude is he may be struggling with his sexual identity, so he may try to act hard or whatever, but his soft nature keeps coming out. It's like, yo, dude, you're gay. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not gay. I ain't with all that. Like, yeah, it's you. That's you. You know what I'm saying? So you know, you may be trying to mask something, but eventually you're going to have to own up to it. So why aren't we waiting or being patient with people until they own up to what their ego, where their ego has been detrimental to them? Because you're going to have to pay the piper somewhere along the line. Just like when a man's ego is out of control, there's going to become a time when he's going to have to check it. He's going to have to check it. It's not a choice. You can't go on that way. And the same thing with women. But the thing is, we keep letting women get away with it because we keep mislabeling it. We keep hiding it. We keep putting it in the tuck. We keep, you know, putting all of the toys and all of the junk under the bed. Like, nope, this house, this room is clean. No, it's not. It's a mess. And it's going to stay a mess because we're not saying what needs to be said. It's not an insult. Women are very competitive. Women definitely have times when their ego is out of control. You know, sometimes I've seen women who expect to be able to control their men in very negative ways. And I've seen them do it unapologetically. You know, they'll straight up tell you, well, I did it because he weak. You know what I'm saying? You're like, you know, I wouldn't act like that if he ain't make me act like that. You know, crazy shit like that. I'm like, he made you. This man is giving you all of his money, all of his time, and he's being submissive to you because he likes you, loves you, and wants to be with you, and fears losing you. And you're looking at him like he's weak because of that. And you're taking unnecessary and unfair advantage of him. Like, well, yeah, well, you know, if he was more of a man, I would treat him better, which is not true. But your ego is going unchecked. And unfortunately, some of us are so immature and short-sighted that we'll say some shit like, well, yeah, if he go upside her head, she'll stop acting like that. Like, nah, that's not the remedy. What we need is more understanding and more consideration. We can get violence anywhere.
But a lot of men don't like being in competition with the woman.
I think in that situation that you just said, I think the problem with that scenario is that the reason why it looks so bad or feels bad is because in ideal situations, men don't like to be the one that's being dominated by a woman, right? So I don't think that it's being dismissed because you just talked about it. Like, people recognize it when they see it. It's like she's taking advantage of him. The problem with it is that men do it all the time. It just doesn't have the same effect as when women do it. Because it's like, well, he's doing it because he can do it. And most people think that it's okay for men to do it. It's okay for women to be submissive and women and men to take advantage of that situation. People don't look at it as bad as when a woman does it. Now it's like, oh, she foul. Like, that's just wrong.
Yeah, they'll say that she's foul. They'll say that she's foul, but they're not associated with her ego. With him, they're going to say that. Like, this dude is, you know, he's foul too. They're going to give him all the negative accolades that he's earned, but they're going to definitely associate it with his ego.
They will, because they'll say, "Who does she think she is?"
Right.
True.
That's usually the first thing out of somebody's mouth.
But
she is.
I'm
associating it with her ego.
See, all right. One thing that I recognize here, or at least I think I recognize here, is that we have at least three people on the line right now who have a deeper understanding of this topic. We can't take for granted that that's what other people out in the world see, because you can clearly see that there's enough evidence to support that not enough people understand this. It ain't like that. And if it was like that, there wouldn't be a need for this show, and there definitely wouldn't be a need for me to title it the way I did, because it'd be like, man, you might as well be talking about Captain Crunch versus Frosted Flakes. There is a definite.
Okay, well, maybe you can say or identify what you feel like the definition of ego is compared to the behavior of women that you think is being unrecognized, because maybe it's just a wordplay. I mean, we've already said that it probably is identified as something else. We may not use the word ego when talking about it, but there's definitely, like, for me, ego is your identity of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
To having a superiority complex, like you think you're better than everybody else,
mm-hmm.
or like it's just who you are, like your conscious self. Like, those are things that are reflective of ego.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so that can be a whole lot of different things when it comes to women, but it's just not like I don't hear people saying, "Oh, she got a big ego." Like that's not something that I hear being referred to as when we talk about women. That's mainly referred to when we talk about men. However, it doesn't mean that a woman's ego is dismissed. When we refer to what behavior she's displaying, that demonstrates that she has a big ego.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Have you ever heard a woman be described as egotistical or an egomaniac?
No.
Yes.
Okay, so one says no and the other says yes. Okay. All right.
Only egomaniac though. I can't remember a time when somebody actually say egotistical. I've heard somebody say, "Oh, she's an egomaniac," but it has not been often at all.
Right. But at least right. But at least you have heard it. You know what I'm saying? And the reason that I asked that is because I had very, very seldom do you hear a woman being described as egotistical, but very often you hear men being described as such. So you see the disconnect there. You know what I'm saying? Now you say that you've heard of a woman being described as an egomaniac, and egotistical and being an egomaniac are the same thing. But it's funny. Well, at least it's good that you have at least heard that somewhere along the line. So I took a little time out to Google it, and I just wrote, "Are women egotistical?" And I was looking at some of the titles that they came up with on the topic, and this is just the first page. And actually, this is Bing, not Google, but I thought it was interesting. The first listing says the ego epidemic, how more and more women having ego, I guess. Then there's 5 ways to spot the female ego. Notice ways to spot it, like that's okay. Right. Then it goes off into dealing with narcissistic women. I didn't ask that. The next one, egomaniacs. Women are more egotistical than men. Okay. Then ego. Hold on. I'm going to have to drag this one. I'm going to have to drag it. Okay, there we go. Then ego. Why are pretty girls so egotistical in general? And that's one of those Quora things. So it's not like it's a forum. It's not like any type of real research evidence or whatever. Just opinions. And 11 signs you're probably egotistical, even if you don't know it. That has nothing to do with what I asked, because that's not dealing with women. 4 signs she might be. Then 4 signs she might be a narcissistic woman. 6 behaviors that create extreme egotistical people. 10 types of women who attract narcissists. You understand what I'm saying? So even in the search results, it kind of, it doesn't hit it like right on. So now
because it's simulating being egotistical with being full of yourself, which is very similar to being a narcissist.
What I'm saying, so but there's a difference between being egotistical and being a narcissist. There are big differences in that. You know what I'm saying? It's a different animal.
Also, some similarities too.
Yeah, no, they have a lot. They have some of the same ingredients, but it ain't going to taste the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, all cakes.
I like that one.
All cakes are made with milk. You know what I'm saying? But chocolate cake and yellow cake are both made with milk. But it ain't gonna be the same. So if I change are women egotistical and put men instead of women, okay. All right, to be fair, it did the same thing. It talks about, all right, the first listing is 7 signs he's too egotistical, 6 behaviors that create extreme egotistical people, why awakened women tend to attract egotistical men, what are the signs of narcissism in men with pictures, a new way to understand the narcissistic man, studies show men are more narcissistic, here's why, egocentric, egotistical, or narcissistic, what's the difference, 11 signs you're probably egotistical even if you don't know it. Okay, so to be fair, they didn't stray too far away in the search results.
Yep, you already know what it is, man.
This bullshit out of here. Okay, so I'm not gonna I ain't gonna oh my god, what the fuck? I mean, get back on my shit. You know what I mean? They gonna beg me on some bullshit, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, what I was trying to do was show how it's not just a random society that doesn't seem to recognize or fails to label women as having ego. It's also the people who are researching this thing, the people who have studied it, the people who are giving out the information, they may fail to do it as well. And there may be deeper reasons for that than I can get into right now. But it's there. There's something there. There's something there, that makes us sweep some of the female ego under the rug or put it in the closet while definitely dressing the man up in the ego suit and letting him go out and get you to come in the tax office. He got on the ego suit shit with the Liberty Bell costume, but anyway, I mean not the Liberty Bell, the Statue of Liberty costume with the ego shit. Shout out to the Statue of Liberty dude with the costume on, trying to get you to go in Hewlett. Get you.
Oh my God.
Yo, what's so interesting about that? Not to get off topic, but we about to do these birthday shout outs and get out of here anyway. But why they have us dress up in the Statue of Liberty? That's a female. Why he gotta cross dress to get you to go into the tax jar and get your taxes done, man? What we doing? They have.
Women don't want to be out there.
What you would? I wonder if they even ever asked. Would they even ever ask a woman to put on that costume? I bet you they wouldn't. And I bet you there would be women out there that would do it. Why not? You know what I mean? $1's $1. You know what I'm saying? When the boy puts on that ridiculous costume, I've heard plenty of people defend it. Like, listen, he's making an honest buck. I ain't mad at him. Blah 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 blah. You don't think they would say that about a woman? I think a woman would probably get people to come into the tax office more. You know what I mean?
90 seconds.
If you want to promote something, get women to do it. Ain't nobody for trying to follow no man in nowhere. Get the woman to do it. Get a woman to do it, men gonna follow.
You see more men in those jobs than you see women. They're the ones more willing to do this. And
you know what? Y'all always fighting for wages and fighting for equal pay and jobs and shit. I don't see y'all fighting to get into that Statue of Liberty costume. Yeah. Y'all should be storming into that damn tax office like, God damn it! Why I ain't know what the Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty is a woman. How come we ain't getting none of these Statue of Liberty costume jobs? Why? What's going on here? Double standard. Double standard. All right, yo, listen. I want to thank y'all for coming on the show. I really appreciate y'all insight. I appreciate y'all coming through and speaking not only your truth, but the truth as we see it and as we know it, and definitely as I accept it. So we're gonna do these birthday showers and then we're gonna get out of here. Listen, I want y'all to know that we're not I told y'all yesterday that we wouldn't have any shows this weekend, not this Saturday or Sunday, because I have to work this weekend, and so it's going down like that. And according to my schedule, we wouldn't be able to fit it in, but I will be with y'all in spirit, man. And I want y'all to have a good weekend. The weather is breaking. We really are deep into the spring now, and so this is a good time to get out and enjoy yourself, get some air. You know, as they lift the COVID restrictions, and we're trying to get the world back on track to what it used to be. And so let's get out there. Let's still be safe. Let's still wear our PPE, whether you got the vaccine or not. You know, still protect yourself at all times, like a boxer in the ring. You know what I mean? That's pretty much what we're dealing with. But you know, get some fresh air, enjoy some sunshine, and get some oxygen from the trees and all of that. Take your allergy medicine if it starts to overwhelm you like it does for me. But let your children get out there and stretch their legs and rock out. You know what I mean? Let's do that and show love, man. Show love, support Black business. I love y'all to death, resuscitate y'all, and love y'all back to life. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, and make sure that y'all hit that like button. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna get on up out of here. We're gonna do the birthday shout outs, and then we're gonna rock on and do the damn do the damn thing. So, like I said, I appreciate the callers coming through and doing what they do. Yes, I do. I said I appreciate the callers coming through and doing exactly what they do. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious May 21st, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get number one out the box, Shantae Williams. I'm Shantae and my rhymes are death. Happy birthday to you, turning 47 years old today. And also, Bebecita Abreu. Bebecita turning 26 years old today. And Adenika Inioloa turning 28 years old today. And Donnell Poole turning 55 years old today. And Timothy D. Williams turning 41 years old today. And Angel Williams turning 50 years old today. Happy birthday to you. And Sakina McLaughlin turning 48 years old today. And Nicole Santana, happy birthday to you. And Terrell B.A. Scott turning 37 years old today. And Asia Marie Woods, happy birthday. And it's all good. And my girl, strong supporter of the Daily Go-Getimism movement and the Urban Therapy with Some movement. And I call her the soul nurse coming from up there in Michigan. Laini Atkins, happy birthday to you. And last but not least, my man Sylvester Wright, turning 49 years old today. Do the damn thing. I want to say happy birthday to all of you and anyone else out there who shares this birthday on this glorious May 21st, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on, and do the damn to rock out. Rock on it, do the damn rock out. Rock on it, do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours. And remember, man, listen, man. Check it out, Peep Gang. We talk about the female ego and, you know, how it seems to hide, how it seems not to be labeled. All that really matters is that everybody counts out here. Everybody is in competition with someone or something at some point in their lives, even if you're just in competition with yourself. Come on, y'all, come on. You know what? Listen, yo, all right. We have the male ego, we have the female ego, but there's an ego nonetheless, and it goes down the way it goes down. But there comes a time in each and every one of our lives where we're going to have to keep our ego in check. So as we check our ego, we will start to be more in tune with the consideration that we need to give others, and we can help ourselves to be better people in the long run. So with that being said, man, y'all have a great night. Once again, peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. I love y'all right back to life. Get with y'all tomorrow. No, sorry. Get with y'all Monday. I won't be able to get back with y'all until Monday. Until then, make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel. And I will get back with y'all. So on the Blog Talk side, let me get you on out of here. Love is love. Let me see.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio.
And on
Goodbye.
the Instagram side, Instagrammers, Five Slammer Jammer, thanks for coming on through. You know how we do. Okay. And for my YouTubers, y'all know how we do. I'll get with y'all later. Be safe. Peace.